So, this was quite engaging, right? Who all agree with this? Now we have a very beautiful rendition that's going to be on innovative approach to well-being, creativity and teamwork, and we have a special musician, artist, a creative leader who would be performing along with her team. She joined us all the way from Mumbai. Please join me in welcoming Sunita Bhuyan, a trailblazer in the corporate world, for using music as a tool for enhanced learning and creative thinking. I'm sure you all are going to enjoy this. We would also be moving to, I would request the team out here to make the arrangements to set up their instruments.
A very good evening to all of you. It's a pleasure and honor to be part of the IndiGlobal Education Festival. And I'd like to thank Sudhir ji for the warm invitation. Music happens when notes connect with each other. स्वर से संगीत सजाया जाता है. Hence the connectors, the connecting chords are very relevant for us to make music. On that note, I'd like to thank my friend and associate Shrikant, Mr. Shrikant Sinha, for connecting us with the IndiGlobal Festival. And then, of course, I'd like to thank all of you for your time on this Saturday evening with so many meaningful sessions that have happened on how we can make education more relevant, more innovative, more creative, more accessible, and most importantly, ensure that each one of us who gets educated is being able to become a conscious citizen with a gainful livelihood. Music, apart from being a great entertaining platform, has got two profound benefits on the mind and body. One, it's used as an alternative therapy. Hence, music therapy is being used as a non-invasive tool and method for various recuperative treatments across the world. And of course, in India also, we have started using music as a medium for enhanced psychophysical developments. For example, music travels from the source via the sound waves in the atmosphere and reaches the target. And as soon as we start hearing a piece of music, our mind calms down and our process graduates from hearing to listening. And why do we do that? When we recognize that piece of music, when we are exposed to that genre, or that melody so powerful that it strikes and attracts us to listen to it. And as our body moves from hearing to listening, our brain sends signals to different parts of the body. And that's when the body starts producing the feel-good hormones called endorphins. And these endorphins regenerate our tired cells, hence used in recuperative therapy for terminally ill cancer patients, for rehabilitation of physically challenged as well as drug-abused victims, for prenatal, postnatal therapy, and of course for each one of us, if you really want to use the benefits of sound and its impact on our body. During different times of the day, different kinds of melodies create different impacts on our body. So that's the context of music therapy. And the other profound lesson that we can learn from music is that engagement of music itself teaches us some profound lessons of working together, working as a team, working with differences, being inclusive, working towards a common goal, working towards a market preference, so on and so forth. So let me show you how music is created. Why do we say that arts helps us learn creativity? Music is composed of 7 notes, and those notes are sa re ga ma pa da ni sa re ga pa ma ga re sa. These 7 notes in the Indian system are sa re ga ma pa dha ni, and in the Western world, do re mi fa sol la ti do do ti la so fa mi re do. You'll be amazed to know that all the music in the world, under the sun, in this universe, is made of these 7 notes. Hundreds and thousands and millions and trillions of melodies in different languages, rhythms, styles, compositions, structures, genres, countries, instruments are made out of these 7 notes. Hence, it's a mission for practitioners like us that earlier on in the educational life of a student, we must expose them to this benefit of music. They don't have to become maestros and professionals, but it fuels their learning. It enables their learning, because the more you listen to music of your choice, more endorphins and positive hormones flow in your body. These 7 notes operate on a platform, which is the Satsuroka Saptak actually, the octave. And with 2 more elements, they create music. One is sur, and one is rhythm or tal, melody and rhythm. So let me show you how we create music. Because this session was part of the conference, I'm sure it wasn't a concert invitation, because it had a theme that why do we say that music is creative? If you give these 7 notes to a maestro of classical music, they say domain is king today, right? You know, we're doing so many different kinds of skills that we train our graduates to be able to get jobs, and we've got to focus on the domain. Hence, a classical maestro would create a rag, because that's his domain. How would he create a rag out of 7 notes? Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa re da pa ma ga re sa. Let's say rag Bilawal. Sa re ga pa ma ga re ga pa ma ga ma re sa re sa. Sa ni da ni sa re sa ni da ni da pa ga pa da ni sa re sa. Rag Bilawal, a morning rag. Violin. if these same 7 notes were given to another domain expert, a director of a Bollywood movie, what would he or she create? Let's see. Sa re ga pa ma ga re ga pa ma ga sa pa ma re ma ga sa pa ma re ga ma ga. एक Bollywood director तो एक नज़म या गीत ही बनाएंगे. He or she would only create a song for a film. Sa pa ma re pa ma sa pa ma re ga ma ga sa ni sa re re ga ma ga sa ni sa re sa ni sa. Did you guess the song? Sa ni sa re जिया बोले क्या ये बोले जानू ना. Guessed it? Sa pa ma re pa ma sa pa ma re pa ma sa pa ma re ga ma ga. पिया बोले क्या ये बोले जानू ना. That was, thank you. It's so wonderful to be part of a physical audience. Last week I was in Delhi for the mental health program of ONGC, and this is the second program after 6 months with a physical audience. So thank you IndiGlobal Festival for creating this forum. So these were this was a very beautiful, romantic melody created with a lot of thought and structure. What about a song in a cabaret or a club? Would that have 7 notes? Sa pa da ni sa ni da sa pa da ni sa ni da pa re re ga ma pa re ga ma pa ma ga pa re ga ma ga pa ga re sa. Nahi baatein hai purani. Is going on from the crowd. So this was, thank you. So So many months of visualizing that the audience virtually is applauding. It's wonderful to see actual applause. Thank you God for creating music and creating an audience. So this is Rag Bilawal. This is not the right time for the Rag. This is just a demonstration for all of you. If my mother, my guru would have been here, she would have been very upset that I have played the wrong Rag at the wrong time. The evening is for Yaman, Rag Desh, late evening is for Bageshri. But when I asked my mother, when I was about 9 years old, I started learning when I was 8 years old. Many years back, definitely more than 40 years back. And I asked her, when can I stop playing this Rag Bilawal? When she taught me 2-3 other rags, she said, you never stop playing the rags that you learn in your foundation. You keep on building on them. You keep developing them. You keep rediscovering them. Every time you play Bilawal, you discover a new facet of the rag. Much like our knowledge, our subjects, we must encourage our young students, our young professionals, that no matter how much the world is demanding them to change projects, to rediscover themselves, to redesign their offerings, they have to build the depth and keep building the depth in their core craft. We have to be, maybe jack of all trades, we have to be master of one. Hence, keep on building on the rag. And she was right. When I came to Bombay, after learning from her for almost 25 years, I realized that there is Bilawal in so many different kinds of rags in Bollywood. There was Himpalashri in jazz. There was Rag Dhani in folk. Hence, the deeper the depth, the wider the expertise. And that's the essence that music as a discipline teaches us, which is so relevant to even business. The deeper the depth in our core area will always be in demand. Yes, projects may change. We need to upskill and dual skill and multi-skill. But if we're good in what we do, we will always be needed. So, a club song and a romantic song, or even a bhajan, ni re ga 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 ni re sa ni dha ni re ga ma pa re ga ni re sa, Rag Yaman, ni re ga 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 ma ga re ga re sa sa ni dha para ma bhaya bhava ma na. Whether a bhajan in the temple or a kalam in a Sufi mosque, a hymn in a church, it's all the 7 notes. There is no class or mass in music. That's the lesson of inclusion that music teaches us. Or whether it's a song from the streets that they say. We don't want our children to learn the tapori songs of some of the films, right? Sani sagama pani da pa ma pa ga sagama pa ma ga ma ga re sa ne pa ne sa ga re ne sa, Rag Himpalashri. Sani ni sa 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 ga re de 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 sa ni sa 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 ga re sa 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 sani ni sa 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 ga ma de 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 tu cheez badi hai mast mast mast. Rag Himpalashri, a rag for between 3 to 5 in the evening, is there in so many different ragas and also there in Cheez Badi Mast Mast. So can we say that that song is not as per standards? There is no class or mass in music. Like love is universal, humanity is universal, music is also universal. On that note, I would like to demonstrate a song from the Western world in our own notes. I'm not trained in Western vocals, I'm not trained in Western violins. It doesn't matter in what language one has gone to school. It's the depth of our domain, our ability to communicate, and our intent to be able to help people understand them and give a solution. Sa, 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 ni, sa, sa, ni, sa, re, ga, re, sa, 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 ni, sa. Far across the distance and the spaces between us, you've come to say you're home. Yeah, far aside, wherever you are, Gama, Agare Sani Sani Dha, sa 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 ni sa pa pa da ni sa re ga re sa. Love is when I loved you. Sa sa ni sa re ga re sa. Whether it's English or any language that we went to school in, like everyone says, it's local to global now. We don't have to aspire to just be global and local, because our language doesn't determine our knowledge, our language doesn't determine our confidence and our concepts. So I'd like to end this section with a classic Mozart piece with Rag Bilawal. I'm not trained in Western classical, but it's the intent matters when you want to express something. Let me see if you can guess this piece. Sa ni sa re ga pa ma ga re sa ni sa re ga pa ma ga re sa 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 ni da pa ma da 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 pa ma ga re ma 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 ga re sa ni sa re. Thank you. Could you get a little violin on the monitors, a little more? And I want the same bass that you gave during the sound checks. So that was not the performance, that was a demonstration. So I'd like to do a short piece which is called Bharat Darshan. We are all here from different parts of India, and also to demonstrate that different kinds of elements come together to create music. Why do we say that music is a great medium to teach us the art of working together, the art of partnership? So easily we say, let's collaborate, let's start a project together, let's partner with each other. There is an art to it. And that's what creates the difference in a partnership. Today we've got keys, a machine. It's actually an interpretation of the piano, as you would have seen. We have Umar Khan on the keys. Though Umar has been in Bombay so many years, he's just moved to Hyderabad and is a very good trained classical singer and a keyboardist. Comes from a musical family completely. Bhushan Parchure on the tabla, disciple of none other than Ustad Naraka Abbaji, trained in the Indian classical tabla since he was 8 years old, but plays with all different kinds of music and genres. The violin that I'm playing today is almost 100 years old. It was recreated when Sir Yehudi Menuhin visited Kolkata about 40 years back, and Mandal recreated it, and it has got the signature of our Guruji, Pandit V.G. Jog, and Sir Yehudi Menuhin. It's very old, and my son, who's a classical pianist, says that, Mom, why don't you change the violin? People have changed so many things, but he's still young to know that old is gold. But however, you've got to move with the times. You've got to be innovative, and that's what the conference is trying to do. So I have a pickup here, and I can plug it in, and I can also play rock shows with this. I can also play jazz. I can also play open air with thousands of... I'm not saying I'm a great artist. I'm saying the violin has the power to be able to do from soft to make you cry, to make you dance. And That's the power of this very delicate instrument. It's strings, it's wind. Then of course the violin on its own cannot make a sound. How do we feel as great leaders? We sometimes feel that, oh my God, the company is not going to run without us because we are the ones who created it. I have created it and I'm going to ensure that I take it forward. But the violin won't play without the bow, which makes the sound. And the way, the angle with which we play the bow, the pressure, the tone, the angle decides the sound of the violin. Hence, I am because of my team, and that's the art of working together. So it doesn't matter what's the contribution of a team member. It's the final output that he or she has contributed to. So today, my special thanks goes to Arvind and Amar on the sound. A round of applause for them since morning. They are not our supporters, they are our enablers. There's nothing called supporting teams and functions. They are enablers, they are collaborators, and Bhushan and Umar Bhai are my collaborators on stage. Those who work with us do not support us, they enable us to do what we do. So Bharat Darshan moves from different parts, regions of India, from the mountains, sound of the deserts, to the sound of the northeast, from where I come from, the Assamese Bihu, some sounds of the south. Please forgive me, I have not been able to get a good medley for South India. Next time, Sudhirji, I will definitely do that. How much time do I have? I think I have 10 to 12 more minutes. Rag Desh means our country. And to observe as we move from one region to the other, observe the connecting notes. We cannot move from one place to the other. We cannot create change with a switch. It has to be very seamless, smooth, sustainable. Music also has to be created by building bridges between melodies and choosing the notes very carefully, softly, with love. deserts in the west. हो मैं तो लाज के मारी हो गई पानी पानी, सब लोगों ने सुन ली मेरे प्रेम कहानी। मुझसे बात निकल गई बात बात माँ बात बात। चनन नन चूड़िया चनन नन चूड़िया खनक गई। From the west. To the east, the Bihu of Assam. In the northeast, Bholu ka bahore, aakhi oi moina, oh Bholu ka bahore, oi aakhi, batah burukhune undulayani se, oi oi amaku no thoba rakhi. you. Thank you. Thank you. आपको सुनाई नहीं दिया ना हमको?
Thank you very much, Srimati Sunita Bhuyan and the team. So that was the creativity innovation towards well-being through music. And of course, there is innovation out here. Thanks to Sunita ji and her team who have taken us from Hyderabad to Meghalaya and many other places. Of course, they touched upon the very peculiar and that touches the nods, the chords of the South Indians, Roja Janiman. A huge round of applause for them once again.